I want you to imagine a disease. But this disease doesn't give you a fever. It doesn't give you a cough. It gives you an uncontrollable urge to move. You start tapping your foot. Then your leg shakes. Then you stand up and start dancing. You aren't happy. You are terrified. You are screaming for help. But your legs won't stop moving. You dance for an hour, then a day, then a week. Your shoes wear out. Your feet start to bleed. Your ribs fracture from the exertion. You are dancing yourself into the grave. This sounds like a fairy tale or a horror movie, but it is a medically documented historical fact. This is the dancing plague of 1518. It began in the city of Strasbourg, France. It was a hot July day. A woman named Frau Troffea walked out of her house and into a narrow street. She didn't speak. She just started to dance. There was no music. She was just twisting, twirling, and shaking. Her husband told her to stop. She couldn't. Neighbors came out to watch. They laughed at first, but then they saw the look on her face. She was weeping while she danced. She danced for 6 days straight, and then the infection spread. Within a week, 34 people had joined her. Within a month, there were 400 people dancing in the streets of Strasbourg. This wasn't a party. It was a scene from hell. Descriptions from the time say the dancers looked like they were in a trance. Their arms were flailing. Their clothes were soaked in sweat. They were screaming for mercy, begging God to make it stop. And then they started to die. In the summer heat, with no water and no rest, their hearts gave out. People were collapsing from strokes and heart attacks right there on the cobblestones. At the peak of the plague, it is estimated that 15 people were dying every single day. The city council panicked. They didn't know what to do. They called the doctors. The doctors of 1518 believed in humors, blood, bile, and phlegm. They diagnosed the dancers with hot blood. They said the victims' brains were overheated and they needed to dance it out to cool down. This was a fatal mistake. The city decided to encourage the dancing. They cleared a grain market to make a dance floor. They hired professional musicians to play drums and pipes to keep the rhythm going. They even hired strong men to hold the dancers up so they wouldn't fall. They thought if they danced enough, the fever would break. But the music and the crowds only made it worse. It acted like gasoline on a fire. Seeing others dance made more people join in. It became a mass psychogenic event. So, what actually caused this? Historians and scientists have argued about it for 500 years. Theory number 1, ergot poisoning. Ergot is a mold that grows on damp rye bread. It is psychoactive. It contains chemicals similar to LSD. If the town ate bad bread, they could have suffered from convulsions and hallucinations. However, ergot usually restricts blood flow. It makes it hard to walk, let alone dance for a week. So this theory is unlikely. Theory number 2, religious cult. Strasbourg was home to a cult of Saint Vitus. Saint Vitus was the patron saint of dancers and epileptics. It was believed that if you angered Saint Vitus, he would curse you with a dancing mania. If the people believed this deeply enough, the fear itself could have caused the symptoms. This leads to the most likely answer, mass hysteria, or as scientists call it today, mass psychogenic illness. The year 1518 was a terrible time. There was a famine. There was a syphilis outbreak. The poor were starving and terrified. When the human brain is under extreme stress, it can break. Sometimes that break manifests physically. One person snaps. The people watching her are also stressed and suggestible. They unconsciously mimic her behavior. It is a social contagion. Their brains convinced their bodies that they had to dance. It was a trance state induced by pure fear and despair. The plague only ended when the city realized their mistake. They banned the music. They took the dancers away from the public square. They loaded them into wagons and took them to a shrine of Saint Vitus in the mountains. There, they gave them red shoes and performed rituals. Because the people believed the saint could cure them, the cure worked. The placebo effect broke the trance. The dancing stopped, but the graves remained. The dancing plague is a terrifying reminder of the power of the human mind. We think we are rational. We think we control our bodies. But under the right pressure, belief becomes biology. An idea can be just as deadly as a virus. We see echoes of this today. We see TikTok tics, where teenagers develop Tourette's-like symptoms after watching videos of it. We see mass panic events. We haven't changed. We just changed the dance floor. So, the next time you feel like you have to do something just because everyone else is doing it, stop, take a breath, and make sure you are the one leading the dance. I am your host. Don't listen to the music. Subscribe.